And welcome everyone. I'm joined here with so many people. Let me just introduce some of the elected here. We have our councilman, councilwoman from the 3rd District. Tasha Diaz is with us. We have the councilman, John Rubo, who we'll hear from soon. We have legislator Ruth Walters with us. We have Deanna Robinson, who's representing Councilwoman Sinead Williams, who couldn't be with us here today. But let me just say that we also have Jason Baker, who's with me. I think I mentioned Ruth Walter.
You did.
I did.
Thank you.
So get you twice. We also have many partners that are with us, and I'm really excited about this. Our partners, especially Sustainable Westchester, NYSERDA, Groundwork Hudson Valley, the Municipal Housing Authority. I think Wilson Kimball's here.
Yep.
Wilson's behind me. We have Greg Berger. We have our friends from Robert Martin and G&S Solar. Today marks another milestone in making Yonkers a cleaner, greener, and more sustainable city. And I'm happy to announce that as we draw to the close of Earth Month, Earth Day is on April 22nd, which happens to be my birthday. Yonkers continues to move forward in advancing clean energy alternatives. Today marks the launch of clean energy, not clean energy alternatives, be energy alternatives, right? Today marks the launch of 5 community solar projects, the first community solar projects here in the city of Yonkers. And we all know that solar is a great renewable energy option for many homeowners. Just look over my shoulder. The sun is bright and in the sky, and it's not going anywhere. And there's a limitless supply of energy just waiting to be harnessed. But for those who live in apartments or in homes that are shaded, installing solar panels actually might not be an option for them. Community solar provides access to solar without having to install panels on your property. Instead, what we are doing is we will provide solar panels that will be installed here in Executive Blvd, thanks to G&S Solar and, of course, Robert Martin Company. Any residents who pays their own electricity bill can now subscribe to a solar farm. This will be the solar farm, and receive credits on their electric bill every month for this clean energy that is produced here. This includes renters and co-op owners. This is a huge win for them. And thanks to the Yonkers City Council, and I mean that, because this could never have happened if it wasn't for the work of the City Council, because allowing solar panels was not even a part of the city's charter, was not part of our code. It was something that couldn't be done. But if it wasn't for the work of the City Council, they were able to change some of our building codes and provide for this type of opportunity. So you are saving money to help reduce greenhouse gas emissions and support clean, locally generated electricity. And because of these advanced efforts in sustainability, the Yonkers has been designated as a climate-smart community and a clean energy community by New York State. We're glad to see New York State recognizes us for something good. So our success in continuing to build a climate-smart and clean energy city will largely depend on how well we can engage all of these communities in our environmental and energy actions. And so with that, we are announcing our partnership. We have a partnership with Sustainable Westchester, Groundwork Hudson Valley, and NYSERDA to kick off the Yonkers Community Solar Campaign. This campaign aims to raise awareness, educate, and help Yonkers residents participate in the community solar. I want to personally thank, again, the City Council, because if it wasn't for their action, this could never have happened, and community solar developments in Yonkers would not be here today. We would not be holding this press conference. We have with us, representing the City Council, the Chair of the Environmental Committee. I'd like to have him come up and say a few words, and that's Councilman John Rubo.
Thank you, Mayor. And I just want to recognize again my colleagues from the council, Councilwoman Tasha Diaz and Deanna Robinson representing Sinead Williams from the 1st District. Just see who else is here. But this was a team effort. Just last night, the City Council approved another milestone and step forward as we approved the leasing of several properties around the city of Yonkers for solar to be installed throughout the city, which will be selling back to the grid, and the city will be generating roughly $400,000 a year. Over the next 20 years, there'll be step increases, but this is a great way to reduce the electrical cost to our residents. It's a great way to continue to move towards sustainable energy, and it goes to show how Yonkers is stepping up to do our part. This, along with so many other programs that Mayor Spano and the City Council have worked on, whether it's moving towards electric fleet vehicles, aggregate programs, and working with Sustainable Westchester. So this is another great step forward. I want to thank the Robert Martin companies and Mark Weingarten and team for everything that they've done to work on getting this to where we are today. And I want to thank everyone for joining us in this success. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Rubo. I'd like to ask, the Office of Sustainability is a very important part of this administration. It was something that was put in place very early on, back in 2011 or 12, I think we put this office in place, and it's been paying dividends ever since. The head of the Office of Sustainability is Jason Baker. I'd like him to come up and say a few words. Jason.
Thank you, Mayor Spano. Good to be here with everybody today. One of our most important missions as we look toward the future is to find solutions for how we power everything that we do, how we power our homes, all of our buildings, our transportation sector. And while a lot of large-scale solutions are currently being developed, community solar is something that we're able to start right away, right now, right here, here in Yonkers. And it's a way to provide access to renewable energy to those who otherwise might not have that access. So it's an exciting project. I want to thank Robert Martin Company. I want to thank Sustainable Westchester, and of course Mayor Spano and the Yonkers City Council, because under their leadership we're able to have projects like this in the city, and we're excited about the future projects to come, utilizing space that we otherwise wouldn't use on city properties to help generate locally produced, locally generated renewable energy through solar. So again, thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council. Thank you, Sustainable Westchester, Rob Martin Company, and that's it. Thank you.
And groundwork. I'm sorry.
And groundwork. G&S, right? We got them all.
That's what happens.
But we have with us here today someone I'd like to have come up and say a few words. She's the new executive director for Sustainable Westchester. Again, we've had a couple of great partnerships that I'm sure we can talk about too there that has provided a lot of success for the people of our city. I'd like to have her come up and say a few words. Nina Orville.
Unmask. Thank you so much, Mayor Spano. And I'm so excited to be here today. There have been a good maybe 3 years of work that have gone into this moment. So it's a really exciting moment for all of us who have been working on issues related to community solar and equity related to renewable energy access. So this event today showcases our opportunity to transition to renewable energy while making its benefits available to everyone, and particularly to those who have historically been excluded. Sustainable Westchester is a nonprofit organization that counts essentially all of the municipalities of Westchester as members, including from the very beginning, from the earliest days, the City of Yonkers. And our role is to create and deliver programs for our municipalities and their communities that help to accelerate adoption of clean energy and other sustainability initiatives consistent with New York State's goals. New York State, as many of you know, has set nation-leading standards on addressing the climate crisis. And included within this is the requirement that by 2030, 70% of the electricity on our grid come from renewable sources. That's a big number, particularly when you consider that at the moment the percentage that is renewable is just under 30%. In addition, there's a really important requirement that a targeted 40% of the benefits from those investments in achieving the climate goals have to flow to what they call disadvantaged communities. Community solar represents the opportunity to drive more rapid solar development while also targeting its benefits to those who need them most. And Mayor Spano spoke about how community solar works. People can subscribe to these solar installations here and directly support local renewable energy while saving up to 10% off their total electricity bill. This naturally enhances equity related to the ability to access the benefits of renewable energy. But as you're going to hear from some of the people who are going to speak, in Yonkers, you've really taken it additional steps beyond just the benefits that are associated with community solar overall. So this morning, we have really the best kind of multifaceted public-private partnership. And Sustainable Westchester is really proud to have helped bring some of the partners together here today. We're going to hear from NYSERDA, our state energy authority, that through the New York Sun program has developed programs to drive the mandated growth in solar development. We're going to hear from G&S Solar, who has responded to the financial opportunity that New York State has created to construct and to operate these solar systems. From Robert Martin Company, that has embraced the benefits of hosting these solar installations on their commercial properties across the county in partnership with G&S. From Groundwork Hudson Valley, who with support from NYSERDA and in partnership with Sustainable Westchester and the Municipal Housing Authority of the City of Yonkers, they're working to empower the next generation of environmental leaders to bring the benefits of clean energy to Yonkers residents. And finally, from the Municipal Housing Authority, which has truly embraced sustainability throughout its operations and who has enrolled as a subscriber in these community solar installations that are being constructed behind us. So we're so proud and glad to be supporting this work in partnership with all of these organizations. Sustainable Westchester is the organization that's actually enrolling people in these community solar installations that are located across the region. And we're going to hear next from Max Joel, who is the team lead of NYSERDA's New York Sun program. Max.
All right, thank you very much, Nina. All right. Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Max Joel. I'm the team lead and program manager for the New York Sun initiative at NYSERDA, and I'm so happy to join you here today on behalf of NYSERDA, the New York State Energy Research and Development Authority. First, I just want to thank Mayor Spano for having us here today, for kicking off this wonderful event, and also thanks to the Yonkers City Council for really making solar a possibility here today. One of the things that excites me most about this project and the projects that are following are the incredible partnership represented here today. The City of Yonkers, Sustainable Westchester, the Municipal Housing Authority, Groundwork Hudson Valley, and then of course G&S Solar and the Robert Martin Company, everyone working together to bring clean, affordable energy to the community. What also comes to mind for me here on this beautiful spring day is how far all of New York, but especially the solar industry, have come in the last year. Despite all the challenges created by the pandemic, The last 12 months have been the most productive months for solar in New York's history. More projects built, more capacity brought online than ever before, and that's to me a great testament to the efforts of the solar workforce, the solar companies, and the elected officials, local and state, who have helped put the policies in place to make this success happen. So we are just getting started. The state has a very ambitious climate agenda, which Nina described, and as she described, community solar is right at the center of that. We have more than 600 community solar projects in development around the state. And as Nina mentioned, many of those will be able to serve the people who need electric cost savings the most through our affordability and equity efforts. So I'm very proud to be here today. This project is a great source of inspiration and hope, and I'll close by just thanking everyone once again. Thank you.
Thank you, Max. And now we're going to hear from our partner, G&S Solar, Abe Naprostek. And G&S has been a wonderful partner in Sustainable Westchester's community solar program, and we're really grateful for the opportunity to partner with you.
Thank you, Nina. So this day is a long time coming. I think it's the third time we tried to have this press conference, and you know what's clear is if you're going to have a solar press conference, it has to be sunny. Yeah. So, you know, G&S has a long history in Westchester County. John Faltings, who's here, is the president of G&S Solar, can tell you, you know, all the projects that he's worked on across this county. You know, whether it's in Portchester or Yonkers or in the city of Mount Vernon. And I think what's so gratifying to our team is to finally be doing and executing solar projects here in our own backyard. So we've had projects from Massachusetts to New Jersey down to Washington, D.C., but for the first time in our history, we're actually working on projects here in the county. And there's just so many folks to thank who've helped make that possible. You know, first, the team at G&S Solar, which is led by John and David Katz. You know, they're working tirelessly to move these projects forward. Everything we do in Westchester County and really beyond starts and ends with Mark Weingarten. So Mark, thank you for all your counsel and advice as we move forward in this endeavor. You know, it's been mentioned already, but the City of Yonkers, when we first got involved in these projects about a year and a half ago, it was very clear that there had to be some work done to make the zoning code fit the model of community solar. You know, our team and Robert Martin and Sustainable Westchester, we all had to commit a significant amount of time and effort and dollars, hoping that everything would get sorted out with the mayor's team and city council. I think we always had the confidence that it would happen, and it did. You know, Mayor Spano, you and your administration have been phenomenal to work with. You know, we've spent a ton of time with Deputy Mayor Kavanaugh, Jason Baker, and Lee Ellman to ensure that these projects move forward along with City Council. So thank you for that. At Con Edison, there's a team that, you know, on the technical side that's really, you know, pushing forward all of these community solar efforts. Steve Bell and Sean Yang and George Baruti. You know, Nina, you've been a tireless advocate for renewable energy here in Westchester County, and we thank you for your partnership. At NYSERDA, David Sandback and Max Joel and Luke Foster are the ones that are really ensuring that these projects are economically feasible and can move forward. And last but not least, our partners at Robert Martin Company. You know, they've had a strong vision that you're going to hear about from Greg Berger to execute renewable projects on their portfolio. You know, I believe they have over 3 million square feet of office buildings, and a significant number of them will be putting solar on the roof of over the next year. So here at G&S, our plan for solar, along with all the stakeholders, is to execute a number of projects across Westchester County over the next 2 years. We have a portfolio of about 50 projects that are ready to build and to move forward, which represents about 25 megawatts of deals. Beyond that, there's another 25 megawatts of projects in the pipeline that if the community solar credit is extended, will also move forward. So we're very excited to be here today. We're very excited to finally be under construction here in the city of Yonkers, and we look forward to working with everyone on a go-forward basis. Thank you.
Thank you, Abe. Now we're going to hear from Greg Berger, the president of Robert Martin Company, which is the largest commercial property developer and owner here in Westchester County. Thank you.
Thank you, Nina. First, let me thank Mayor Spano and the council members here with us today, as well as the Yonkers Municipal Housing Authority, Sustainable Westchester, Groundwork Hudson Valley, NYSERDA, and our friends, partners at G&S Solar for collaborating on this very important project, with a special emphasis on the word collaboration, because that is exactly what it will take to ensure a sustainable future for all of us in the county. Robert Martin is honored to stand here today with you because we are equally invested in the long-term sustainability and viability of Yonkers, which is literally reflected in the solar panels here in front of me. In 1931, nearing his own death, famed inventor and entrepreneur Thomas Edison declared to his friends Henry Ford and Harvey Firestone, "I'd put my money on the sun and solar energy. What a great source of power." Well, as we all know, Thomas was ahead of his time and very profound. 90 years later, our collective partnership is realizing Edison's dream to harness the sun's limitless, clean power for the benefit of the citizens we all serve. I want to give a special thanks to my associates, Jeremy Frank and Damian Finley, who have really been running point on this project with G&S, along with the city, for all their effort and their work on this project. As Abe said, it's a few years in the running, and we're so happy it's finally here. Robert Martin is excited and proud to be part of this venture, and we look forward to helping light the way towards Yonkers' continuing economic revitalization with more critical solar installations in Yonkers and all over Westchester County. Thank you to everyone involved.
Thank you, Greg. Now we're going to hear from Bridget Griswold, the Executive Director of the wonderful local organization Groundwork Hudson Valley, which we're so thrilled to have a partnership with them in this work.
Thank you, Nina. Groundwork's been working in Southwest Yonkers for the past 20 years. We are an environmental justice, community-based organization working to improve the environmental conditions for our low and moderate income residents. So for us, community solar is a massive step forward in terms of equitable distribution of energy. Nina mentioned and NYSERDA mentioned the aggressive climate, most ambitious climate legislation coming forward in New York State, as well as our federal government. And Mayor Spano and Jason Baker in the Office of Sustainability have been truly leading Yonkers to be a more climate resilient city moving forward. Climate change in Yonkers and across New England is going to be affecting us by more extreme heat as well as extreme flooding in our neighborhoods. So when Nina talks about community solar, about being about equity, extreme heat kills more people than all other natural disasters combined. And I don't think that's actually a statistic that's widely known. So for many of our residents in these really, really, really hot summers, to be able to have a reduction in their energy bills is not only about equity, but it's about improving the public health of our most vulnerable residents. So I want to thank NYSERDA for providing the funding for Groundwork to do community outreach to help educate our residents about the benefits of community solar and also enroll residents in this amazing progressive solar energy program, which is making energy accessible to all of our residents. G&S Solar, Robert Martin Company, Mayor Spano, and especially the City Council who changed the laws to make this program possible. And am I missing anybody? Nina? Nope. Municipal Housing Authority. Wilson Kimball, who also is one of the greenest municipal housing folks I've ever encountered in my entire professional career. Thank you, Wilson, for leading the way on green innovation in our public housing. Groundwork's role in this amazing collaboration is really about empowering our young residents, who many of whom live in Southwest Yonkers, who stand to benefit from the reduction in energy bills that this program poses. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce our Green Team champion, Julian Ortiz, who is part of our youth employment program. Our Green Team youth will be working to educate residents and enroll them in this amazing program so that all of our residents can stand to benefit from community solar. So Julian, you want to say a few words?
Yes, so like Bridget mentioned, I'm Julian Ortiz. I'm part of Groundwork's Green Team, which is the youth team dedicated to environmental justice here in Yonkers. So first, I would like to say thank you. It's great to see this change for the future. Sustainability, solar power. I want to thank all of the people involved in this, creating a brighter future for Yonkers. And really, I think community solar is great. It provides what you need. It provides energy for the grid and savings. So I myself got my family signed up because I think it's such a great program with great benefits, and I can't wait on Green Team when we start getting and helping other people to sign up. So we're going to be doing that. We're going to be bringing those benefits to the people of Yonkers, savings, and really getting that green energy that we need here in Yonkers. Just seeing this future makes me happy and proud for the future. So I would like to thank everyone for that. And like Bridget mentioned, I can't wait to be an environmental leader or environmental activist here in the community and also help create a future. So I would love to work with all of these companies we're collaborating with and hope for a better future. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bridget and Julian. And now we're going to hear from Wilson Kimball, who the more I learn about what the Municipal Housing Authority is doing here in the City of Yonkers, the more inspired and impressed I am, including the construction of a new net zero passive house residence. It's really remarkable. And the Housing Authority has enrolled as a subscriber in the community solar installations that are being constructed right here. So, Wilson.
Thank you, Nina. Hi, I'm Wilson Kimball. I'm the President and CEO of Municipal Housing for the City of Yonkers. My list of thank yous is long as well, but bear with me so I can do the right thing by the people who have earned it. First of all, I'd like to thank Mayor Spano for his vision and leadership in green and sustainable every part of our city, from bioswales to LED streetlights to community solar. He has been an amazing leader in the area of sustainability, and we're so fortunate to have him as our mayor. I'd also like to thank the City Council for making us legal, because that's important. And they did a remarkable job, so thank you to the Environmental Committee, John Rubo, Tasha Diaz, Shanae Williams, and the rest of the City Council. Thank you, Jason Baker. You've been amazing. I've seen him on scooters. He's not that good, but it's worth watching. I also want to thank Nina Orville, who I've known a long time, who has always been a leader in sustainability and an amazing woman and a great addition to Sustainable Westchester. They're lucky to have her. I want to thank NYSERDA, who, despite the fact that they stole away one of my best employees, Brad Tito, I still respect and like. So thank you, NYSERDA, for your participation. I want to thank G&S Solar, because about 20 years ago when I started at Battery Park City, where we had sustainability, we had the Solar, the first green LEED certified building in the country. Solar panels were not easy, they were not cheap, they were not accessible. So thank you, G&S Solar. I'd like to thank Greg Berger from the Robert Martin Company. I loved Bob Weinberg, I loved Tim Jones, and I'm so grateful to be here. You have always been a good neighbor in our city, so I'm so grateful for that. Bridget Griswold is amazing. We have toured many properties. We have looked at ways to remediate water and drainage and bioswales and planting gardens and community gardens. And we're probably going to be putting in basil and cilantro for some of our residents who want to cook. So I'm so excited to work with you, Bridget, every day. You make my life that much better. And I just want to thank all of you who have participated in this, because we have over 1,700 units of affordable housing across the city in all of the quadrants. And that amounts to tens of thousands of residents. It's seniors, it's families. And without this affordable green energy, our tenants would be at a loss. Last year during COVID, when so many of them were forced to stay home and put on their air conditioners, they really felt the impact of those bills. And so having a green, sustainable energy alternative is incredibly valuable to families and seniors who are literally concerned about the next dollar and the next $5 that they spend. So thank you all for being here. Thank you for supporting this initiative. It does take a city to raise the best of our Yonkers. So thank you so much.
Can I just say a couple things and then turn it over to you? Great. So you've heard about the breadth of this amazing partnership here today. And I want to thank the whole Sustainable Westchester team for helping to make this possible and moving things forward. Maria Genovese and Leo Wigman are here today. And for myself, I would just like to close with a big thanks to the City of Yonkers and to Mayor Mike Spano for your extraordinary environmental leadership and for the tenacity of the City Council in moving so many important environmental initiatives forward, and Jason Baker for your partnership and your collaboration on this, and so many other things. And Maria from Sustainable Westchester has worked with Christina here in the mayor's office on putting together this event, and so much other important communication here in the City of Yonkers. So thank you so much, and I'll turn it back to the mayor.
Thank you, Nina and Julian. It's really good to see you here, and it's nice to know that the future is bright, and also nice to know that I got your memo about wearing green, so I got my green tie. So did Mark. So did our county legislator. Well, she just took it off, and so did Christina. So it's really important to note one thing. This is a beautiful piece of property. If you know a little bit of the history here, it says it used to be a golf course, but before that was farmland, and it was part of the Boyce Thompson Institute. Boyce Thompson himself lived in a mansion just on the other side of the street on Broadway, and his mansion is still there. And his goal in life was to feed the world, and put in place, did a lot of things to help in that effort. It was very, very successful. And so it's important that we're here today on this property as we embark on something else. New, clean, renewable, and affordable energy for the people in our community. And so I want to say thank you again to all the partners here that made this available to us and possible. I thank them for the accolades that many of them gave me, but frankly, none of this stuff could ever happen if it wasn't for the advocates that are behind me and educating me and pushing me and making sure that I do the right thing as an elected official. So for that, I want to say thank you to each and every one of you. And are there any questions at all? Okay, thank you, everybody.
Mayor Spano, there's a request for a photo. Let's see. That was cool.
Yeah. Always a good time.
Yeah, I think we'll balance it a little more. Maybe. Yeah. And Jason?
Can we have everybody take a step back?
Mayor, Yonkers is moving forward into sustainable energy. I know that this is not the first project. We have new cars, electrical cars coming to Yonkers. Please tell the people of Yonkers how important it is to move in that direction.
It's very important because this is the way the world is going. The world has finally seen the benefits that can be achieved by making investments in solar power. And those investments are now becoming cheaper. They are clearly more renewable and more readily available to residents all across our wonderful community here. So we have to make sure that in a place like this wonderfully vast open space, that we're able to partner with a private partnership with a company to put solar panels up and then allow the residents of our city to have access to that as well. Because like we said before, if you live in an apartment, if you live in a co-op, you may live in a home that doesn't have much property and a lot of trees. You're not going to really have access to solar power. Today you will, because of this farm that's been put in place, and 4 others all across the city.
Now, Mayor, for those that might want to, take your recommendation, where do they go to get the information? Do you know it?
Yeah, right. Okay. You just have to go on to Sustainable Westchester. Just Google that, and they'll be able to find out exactly how to sign up for this program.
Now, Mayor, there is a whole bunch of cars coming, electrical cars coming to the City of Yonkers. I know there is a press conference coming up. We don't want to disclose too much until that day, but just a few words so people know what's coming up.
Well, you know what, we have decided through executive order that we are going to start replacing our fleet one by one with electric vehicles, and that's an ambitious goal. It's an expensive goal too, but the more investments that are made, the cheaper it becomes. And remember, because it's renewable, because it's coming from the sun, it's unlimited, the costs become much more affordable. So we, once you get past the initial investment. So we see a lot of this that will benefit the city. We have a sustainable park right now. We have JFK Marina, which is completely run on solar and winds. And so we're happy about that. We have changed all of our street lights into LED lights, saving millions of dollars there. And of course, the City Council, with these new laws that they've just put in place, people will have the ability to place solar panels on their own properties for their own benefit and for the benefit of our community.
Thank you, Mayor. Guys, that's the way to go nowadays.